Vamos a seguir hablando de educación con Kristin Rangnes from Noruega, Norvégica. Kristin es también la vicecoordinadora de la Red Europea de los Geoparques. Gracias.
Already have realized that we are talking about some of the same items because the activities in geoparks, they are closely interwoven. So you will also see during my presentation things that already were mentioned by Patrick, also by Nicholas. That is the way geoparks work. It is also about the holistic view we have about our activities. So education in geoparks, it's a very important part of the work we do. This education can be informal, or it is in all our communication with people. It is informal in a way, but also we do a lot of formal education towards a wide range of people. It is serious, it's based upon science, but it's also great fun. So I will invite you now to a little bit more deep look into what we can do. This is maybe a little bit more best practice presentation. I do hope that it can inspire, and I guess also it will point upon already things you do. Maybe you can share with people back home when you return that we already are working in a good line with geoparks. So these are the three things that we are talking about. And as you can see here, I have just pointed out the educational thing. Education. This is from, I think, a little bit older, a UNESCO leaflet. A geopark organizes activities and provides logistic support to communicate geoscientific knowledge and environmental concepts to the public. This is done in a lot of different ways. I will come back to that. But it's very important to understand that it is about the dialogue between geoscience and population. It's not like it's not two geologists. It's also two geologists, but it's not enough geologists in the world to do sustainable development if we are aiming just towards the geologists. It is about people. It's about the holistic view on nature. It is, and man is actually part of nature. It is about very interesting and good connections between man and geologists, or have already been mentioned a long time. But I really like, often when I start my communication, I point out to remind what do we actually call our historical periods, from the Stone Age through the Iron Age to the Bronze Age. What are we now? Petroleum Age or Gold Age or Silica Age? I don't exactly know. Is geology everything? It is about geology all through history. The local geology is really, really a part of my own identity, but we tend to see that people are not actually aware. Yes, it was mentioned that people, they know they are from a special place. Not always. People are not aware of the treasure they actually have. It has to be pointed out. And through that, again, how to take care of the precious nature they have. Communicating science. Yes, it is about science. The culture, and we will hear more about the culture, not only the tangible, but also the intangible culture, the history to all ages. And you can see from my pictures here that, of course, when we are guiding a tour with an old iron ore, and the audience, as you can see, is quite small. You don't start to talk about hydrothermal occurrences of iron. No, you talk about the mine here, the workers there, the iron they found, and what it was used for. It is to all ages. It is about people. Education, all levels. We work from kindergartens to universities. The whole range. The elderly people living inside geoparks, it's a lot of them coming to our tours. It's a very important group to talk to. But the children, when they learn new knowledge about their place, they go home and they talk about it during dinners to their parents. We reach a lot of people. Geoparks offer unique outdoor laboratories. Laboratories that can be used by school children, for students, for visitors. And we don't necessarily have to be there all the time with them because we don't have capacity for that. We have to make systems that make these laboratories being available for everybody whenever they like. The long history of Earth. How can we explain 4.6 billion years? You can use a rope, this 46 meters long rope, where we can actually use the students or the children themselves to explain, to tell, to keep small treasures representing the history of the Earth. It's easy. I can carry it with me. I can use it everywhere. I can use it indoor. Then I have a 22.5 meter long rope. We can use also just to observation. Sometimes we really see that people, they are there every day, but do they really observe? Do they really observe that these layers are in a little way strange? They see it every day. Maybe they don't wonder, but if they wonder, they need answers. So talk about them. How can layers like this, suddenly they were once a flat layer? What is the story behind this? You can also see from Japan that not only geopark people are telling the story, school children are telling the story to their companions, or maybe also to politicians. And what do we eat? Sometimes we are asked, why are you here in this? Why are you so concerned about local food? Okay, do you see a carrot? Do you know where a carrot is growing? Of course, it is growing in the soil. And what is soil? It is the connection between geology and biology. So why is the soil different in Mexico City or in my geopark back home? Because of the rocks and, of course, the climate. Important to communicate and important to educate people in order also to take care of their soil. It's a lot of geological history connected with the soil. Geoparks and geological heritage. Yes, we do communicate to scientists, but not only. It is about making this heritage understandable for everybody. I don't know how many people that have told me that, geology is about that old rocks and the completely difficult names of the ages that we don't even understand what we should use for. But if you don't, you can have a spectacular geological heritage as you want. If you cannot communicate it to everybody, you will never be a geopark. Geopark can provide tools. He's from Germany, that we can see that they have a toolkit to explain quite difficult geological processes. But there are no so difficult geological processes that you cannot explain in an easy way. And very important, how could people understand how to manage a valuable place if they don't understand the value of it? And we have to also make sure that they take care of the value. This is actually from Haute-Provence, where they have provided how to get people into these vulnerable places. They need really to be taken into the nature in a protective way, but we need also to make our treasures accessible. Geoparks can assist with that. And what about an old medieval church made of local rocks? When at the same time, because I think we see in Geoparks that people understand very well the value of cultural heritage. But what when this church, beautiful church, is built upon a 420 million years old coral reef? That also need protection, not only the cultural heritage, but the connection is beautiful. So, important information and communication from Geoparks. The church is protected by law. The geology is not. So how can people understand that they should take care of it if they don't know anything about it? This is from Indonesia. It's just an example how we can communicate when we go out for missions. Obviously, you can see a rock there. It's a rock. It's a beach rock. The beach rock is a sedimentary rock. It's a geological name. But if you look at the beach itself, doesn't work. Okay, here. You can see that this beach rock, it's broken into pieces by nature itself. We don't have to help with human action. And you can see the pieces, how they are brought in from the sea by the waves. So why not use this opportunity? Maybe the batteries are going to be, yeah. You have all the material there. You have the loose sand, you have the rocks, you have the fossils. You can show very easily how a rock is made, because people do not exactly know what is a sedimentary rock and how is it made by nature. You can use it very easily. It's an outdoor laboratory. And on this beach in Java, they have rangers that just love the idea of how easily they can communicate geological heritage. They are not geologists. They are local people, specialized in their own environment. They are really the good ambassadors for the place. But they get training from the geology to use this geological heritage in communication and education. Very easy tool. It's there every day. There's a lot of different ways of communication in geoparks. Of course, we have a lot of exhibitions and big museums. Not all geoparks have big museums, but we always have the outdoor museum. We work through making books of leaflets. Of course, we use outdoor panels, and that is, of course, we cannot have panels everywhere. We are not going to destroy or disturb nature either, so we have to take care. A good tool now, as if you have a web connection, is of course to use additional connection with the QR codes. Guided tours. And guided tours, we can also do guided tours with the Geopark staff, but as you have seen, local people that are trained to communicate their own place is highly valuable. Nowadays, digital tools is very attractive. It's a lot about how fancy it is, how fun it is. We saw the electrical bicycles. It's a good thing in addition to the others. And we can, of course, and we do that a lot, do assistance to the teachers. So the teachers themselves can take their children out for guided tours. Just for some examples for some digital tools, they can be either guided tours that, as we saw from France, or games. Games are useful. It's a lot of different types, a lot of applications that are, some of them are free, some of them are expensive. You can make actually fun for children, and not only for children, to go out and learn about Earth heritage. Geocaching, I think, is quite well known, but there is also Earth caching, which is more controlled, where you can also add information and questions. Good tools to use in geoparks. With both Nicolas and Patrick talked about natural hazards and how we can deal with this important field in the geoparks. It's a lot of things about climate change, former, future. How can we deal about climate adaptation? Is it possible to do disaster reduction? And how can we protect and manage geological heritage? Different and very important issues for geoparks. Many geoparks are in areas with active volcanism. Very, as you know here, very visible, very threatening. Geoparks can focus upon social security, social safety, how to behave. And as we saw for the example from Japan and Lesbos, what about the children living in this threat. Natural hazards again, earthquakes and tsunamis, and I think you will recognize the tsunami, the picture here. And this is actually pictures from Lesvos, from the training course, from what they call the earthquake table, and it is about how people can react and how they should react. It is done by a cooperation between Geoparks, and they have every year there is the International Day for Disaster Reduction. They also have this earthquake simulator, and also everybody that are so lucky that we don't live so close to earthquake areas, we can really understand what it is like to be in an earthquake. Rockfalls, landslides, avalanches, they are everywhere. I think all geoparks might have problems like this. This is very new. I took this from my own geopark area because it's very recent. It's a big landslide, and it was the second in 1 week. And the politicians, they do not understand that they have to do some action. No people got killed, but that was actually, this is the main road between West Norway and East Norway. So it's not an easy task. This is from Nepal. It is important with the knowledge for local people. It is important with knowledge in society. And training students also in this field might be an important task for a geopark. Sustainability is important for the earth. It's important for people, and then of course it is important for geoparks. A lot of geoparks are also dealing with environmental friendly products, renewable energy. This is from Germany, from Terravita Geopark in a renewable energy lab. And the protection of our heritage is all part of the education in the geoparks. Just an example. We were talking about sharing. I also enjoy the word sharing. This is actually what we have done in my geopark in Norway. We have made these talking stones. We call them our rock family. And our rock family is not only for fun, and they are not playing music, but they are telling important stories. They are telling the story how they became a rock, the processes, how they were brought to the place we find them, and also for what use do they have? Are they useful rocks? I think we all have seen these rock collections that we can buy that are from rocks from all over the world. We make local rock collections, actually those rocks that you can find outside the school. That is meaningful for teachers because they can recognize them. So actually this rock family has been used now in books, in other, not even in Geoparks, but books also for World Heritage Site in Norway. They are very easy to make. They are published in our website, and a lot of geoparks are now using, or they are basing their own stuff on this idea, and that please share. It's no copyright. Just use the idea. Please use it. This was supported, this is a tool for schools, so it was supported by the National Commission for UNESCO in Norway. So gave us a very, very good educational tool. And we just handed them out for free. So I will finish the way I started. Geopark education is useful, important, it's active. You can combine it. You can combine it with other disciplines. You can be active. You can do it indoor. You can do it outdoor. It is for all. In a lot of different settings. You might need some tools. But mainly, it is great fun. Thank you very much.